guys, long time no see. So I haven't been consistent on YouTube. Just hang in there. I'll be back. I think in the next few weeks, I'm not gonna be consistent. I should have said it from the beginning. That is because I'm working on something. And there is this quote that I like, quotation that I like, and it states that I don't say what I do until I don't do it, or I don't say what I do until it is done, right? So basically, you guys will find out once everything is done, and I'll bring it here, obviously. And I'll also tell you guys how I came about it and how I was able to accomplish all of it. Just the way I was talking to you guys about this, the steps of how to write a book, the easiest ways of, publishing your book. And I did tell you guys the first thing you need to do is write. Just put your manuscript together and the rest will follow. Okay? Alright, so now getting back to this video. So the reason I want to talk about this video is that I had made another video. I recorded everything and I was like, okay, this was gonna work, but the video was not right. It didn't work out, so it didn't go as planned, basically. And I'm sure some of you, if you've experienced this, obviously, sometimes you'll shoot a video and you thought that you've saved it, but apparently it's not saved, right? And yeah, that is life. So anyway, let's discuss what I want to talk about. So I wanted to discuss a new show. It's a reality TV show, and it's called the Bahat Empire. I did not watch the show because it's just showing in the continent. It's not in the diaspora, not anywhere overseas. So, however, I did watch the trailer, and also they did talk about it. There were a few items from the show that they discussed, and one of the items that was discussed that stood out for me was the fact that their mom was not in the picture even when she was alive, because I think she had issues with the spouse and she had to leave. But when she left her children behind, and of course the older daughter was the one taking care of the kids. It's not like they had nannies. Their dad would hire nannies, but nannies don't stay, right? So the younger sister was talking about how her mom left her when she was 5 months. Wow, I thought that was really young, because and then she was talking about her experience not having a mother in their life. And I do understand, because I was in that space to some extent. My mom left me with a relative, probably I think she was a family member when I was really young. At that time I hadn't even started school, not even nursery, the way they call it back home. And so she left me with this lady, and she told her that she was coming back in 2 weeks. I was young and I trusted her that she was coming back in 2 weeks, and she did not show up. The next time I was seeing her is when I was I think whether I was joining second year of high school or I'm going to my third year of high school. I think one of those. That's when I saw her. And the repercussion of that kind of relationship is the fact that there is a lot of missed opportunity, missed time, and then you guys are not really close. Sometimes even though I call her, there is really nothing to talk about. It's just like, hi, how are you? How's everything? Good. How's work? Good. How's that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. And and for the longest time I didn't understand why. I had a lot of questions like, why would you just leave your child and don't look back? Are you okay? And it's funny, when she was away, I could still hear talks from the lady that she left me with. They will say, "Oh, yes, yeah, your mom is, I don't know, in this country, or she just got married, or she just had another child, or she." Then I was like, "Wow, this woman is having fun. Like, dude, you are getting married upright and center, having kids and living your life, and you just left me here stuck, saying that you're coming back in 2 weeks, and I did not see you." So I was disappointed, but I was disappointed that that happened. I was also disappointed that she lied, and there was no explanation. Growing up, trust has always been very important for me. When someone said they're gonna do something, they do it, and that's how I was brought up, right? I was brought up with those kind of sheltered, good girl kind of upbringing. I'm sure if you're from back home, you know that good girl kind of upbringing. That's where I have been. I've been to boarding school. You go to, your schedule is you go to school, you come home, no parties. Yeah, you know, you don't go just anyhow, like going shopping for no reason, you know. So everything is done for a reason. If something doesn't make sense, you don't do it. So I was brought up as one of those good girl kind of upbringing, and good grades, but I didn't even struggle. I was always on top of my class, so I didn't really, some people will read for hours. I didn't have to do that. I was just, I'll just get it done. Absolutely. So I was lucky that way. But there were also a lot of challenges. If you are left by your parent to live with different relatives, there is also a movement of where they move you. You live from house to house. You move from relative to relative. So my upbringing is a mixture of a lot of things. First, I grew up in a sense where there are times that there is no food. You guys will sleep, there is no food. But also, my upbringing also included sometimes where I'm at uncle's house, where a president would be eating at our house. So that was normal. A minister will come for dinner, you know. So my upbringing was like up and down, like really very top class, elite, and also to downwards, you know. So I was brought up with all of that. So I have all of that. So I do understand. I understand poverty. I also I understand riches. I understand when you have nothing, when you lose everything. But I also understand when you have everything. I remember there was a time I would go to a mall. I had nothing to buy because I have everything. Like I'll go to shop, I'll tell them, just call me when you have new arrivals. Basically, that's how I used to shop. Because you'll go to store, you have everything. I'll go look at dresses and gowns, I have all of them. So then I'll just go to mall and I can't really buy anything because most of the things they have, I already have. Like shoes, the same thing. I'll just tell them, please just call me when you have new arrivals, because basically every kind of shoes they have, I have them, right? Including purses, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, what's that? I lived, that's how I lived my life. I also lived a life where I had nothing, right? And so getting back to the story of not having a parent, it makes you grow up very quickly. And one of the how should I put it, memories that actually stood up for me that I still remember is a memory of, I think I was probably 6 or 7 and I was really sick. And then all I wanted was a hug. So I went to the lady that I was left with, and I was crying, because when you are a child, you are sick, you are crying. Sometimes you are crying because you need attention. You're also crying thinking that the parent Yeah, so as I was saying, one of the memories that stood out for me, as far as, not growing up with your parent, is the fact that there was a time that I was really sick. And I think it was the first time that I was very sick, and my mom wasn't in the picture. So all I wanted was a hug. I was crying, I was sad, I was crying that I need my mom and all that stuff. So I went to the lady that I was left with, which she's now like a mother figure. So all I wanted was a hug, right? And she could not, she just brushed me off, brushed me off. He's like, no, I'm not your mother, go find whether your mom is. She said she's coming in 2 weeks. It's now over a year. I think it was over a year or two. And yeah, so she brushed me off. So that was the time that I grew up. That was the time that I grew up. And then I just went to a corner. I think I went behind the house, finished my crying. And then that's when I realized that, hold on, hold up. That's when I'm like, wake up, pull up your socks. Anyways, I'm laughing now, but it wasn't funny. That's when I grew up very quickly. I realized that, okay, this is not home, and you don't have anyone here. So you better be in your good behavior, and don't expect someone to give you a hug when you are sick. So that was the time that I grew up, and I quickly realized that there's a new government. I don't know. I'm joking about this. That's when I realized that there is a new government. Things are going to be different, yeah. But then there's a lot of things that you go through, and I went through a lot. The best way to say it is, I had it worse than Cinderella. Let's put it that way. I had it worse than Cinderella. Yeah, I had it worse than Cinderella. And plus, Cinderella, at least she was able to go to find her way to the, to the party, to the ball, and won the heart of the prince, and she was able to leave her family. Me, nope. I didn't have a woman making a pumpkin to take me to a party or something. Parties were not allowed, so you don't leave the house. So yeah, the best way to say it is like I had it worse than Cinderella. I remember there was a time I was living at this one relative's house as well. I'll do like laundry for everybody, which is normal. Here's the thing with me also. I had no issue doing it because I already made a vow to myself. It is a new government, so I need to be in my best behavior. Otherwise, these people will kick me out, and I have no clue where my mother is, and my dad was not in the picture. I'll tell you guys a story about my dad in another video coming up. Maybe today, maybe soon, guys, soon. So anyhow, you will do like laundry for everybody in the house, it was the norm. It was the norm. Whether it is 10, 15 people, you did all their laundry, you did everything, and for me, I never complained, and I had no issue because I saw it as if I'm learning. But what was so weird is that some of them will just try to, I don't know how to put it. Someone will take their clothes, right? You are washing. They will sneeze on the clothes and then throw it for you to wash. Like they have the option of taking a napkin. They have an option to use napkin or tissue or whatnot they can use to sneeze or whatever. No, they're gonna use the clothes, and sometimes it has like a lot of, for you to watch. So those are some of the things that it happen all the time too. There are places sometimes. Oh man, I did remove the tag for this thing. The tag is there. I don't want it to show. So you end up living with different families, different relatives, from different home to different homes, and it's not a good thing. There is advantage to it though, because it makes you stronger, and you also learn a lot as far as house chores, discipline. You learn a lot, but at the same time, it's not good. Like, no child should go through that. No child should go through that. And yeah, so anywho, after a few years she came when I was already joining, I was already in the second or third year of high school, and she came. I was expecting an apology. Oh, sorry, I said I was coming back in 2 weeks, but I did not. No, that didn't happen. Yeah, so it's an African thing. Parents don't apologize. Parents don't apologize. To some extent, when I got to Canada, second year of university, I did a philosophy course, and there was a guy called, is it Thomas Hobbes? He was talking about a state of nature, right? Yeah, Hobbes was talking about a state of nature. I think if you go and look it up, state of nature, that was prior to organized society, basically in a state of nature. People lived their lives anyhow. Parents didn't really care about the children. Children didn't care about their parents. Parents have no right. There's no obligation in the state of nature that Hobbes was explaining, if I got it right. Parents have no obligation to really take care of you as a child, right? They can choose to feed you, they can choose not to, right? And then when I did that course, then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to blame my mom. She's probably living in a state of nature, you know. I brought you to this world, and fend for yourself. And also, if you read the scripture in so many ways, you come to understand that God probably chose your parent as a vessel just to bring you to this world, because God has other plans for you. And maybe based on God, because God never does anything wrong, that person was the best vessel they can use to bring you in this world. And for me, I looked at it, you know what? God probably just used my mother as a vessel to bring me in this world, and that's it, and her job is done. Anything after that, it is up to me and God. And in reality, it is God that watches over us. God is our Father. God, the Creator, is the one that makes sure that we have everything, we eat well, we do well, you know. So despite everything, I was still able to, graduate, come to Canada, do my undergrad, go to Harvard, get different kind of jobs, work with the government, publish my books. I think I've published over 20 books so far. My other businesses that I have. So, and those, I was able to accomplish all of that is because I forgave very quickly. And I decided to take my life on my hands. I took my life by the bulls, let's put it that way. I said to myself that I'm not going to sit back and start blaming everybody for my situation. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, I'm going through this situation because my mother left me. And I'm going through this situation because my dad wasn't in the picture. No, I didn't do that. I was like, nope. As long as I'm alive, I have 2 hands, 2 legs, I'm gonna take life and make something out of it. All right? So anyhow, that's what I learned from when Michelle, I think Michelle is Okay, I'll come back. Okay, guys, so that is what I've picked up from the show, The Bahat Empire. If you are in the continent, go and watch it. It's a great show, I think, based on the trailer and based on what they talk about and based on some of the snippets that I watched. So when Michelle, Diana's sister, was talking about their mom leaving, and so I absolutely understood what that gap is. You actually forget. You don't everything goes blank. So basically, it is blank, blank, blank. Is that the same? Blank. It is empty. So as far as the love between a daughter and a mom is empty, it is blank. You have that love as a mother because the Bible says we have to respect our mom and dads, but there is no that closeness. That friendship is not there, and that is the regret. I don't know if she regrets it, but for me that is the unfortunate thing that you can bring your children and then just leave them unattended. But I'm sure there's an explanation for that. And hopefully one day when I speak with her, I'll ask, like, dude, what's up, yo? What's up? What up? You leave your kid unattended and you don't look back, right? So anyways, yeah. So, and the other thing, and as I said earlier, I don't hold her accountable for anything. In my opinion, and the way I look at it, and probably therapeutically to make me feel good about it or about talking about it, is I look at it as not all mothers are meant to be mothers. Not all moms are meant to be mothers, right? Not all moms are meant to be mothers. There are people that are born mothers, they nurture, they want to be there for their children, they want to see them grow. That is the vision. But for others, that's not the case, right? Basically, they are still in the state of nature, which is fine. As long as you are healthy, that is it. And the other thing, that mistake that sometimes some girls will do is, for example, let me use a Cinderella example. Instead of just waiting for your Prince Charming, you're saying that, oh, I'm staying with this family, I'm staying with this family, I'm not happy here, I'm not happy there. And then I have this guy that is talking to me, or Thomas is talking to me, or whoever is talking to me, and then you run away with the person. That is a big mistake, because you are going unprepared, and you're just leaving because you didn't really plan it. Your intention of leaving is because you don't like how you're being treated, right? So if someone is in that situation, don't do it. Don't just say, oh, no, don't do it. Just wait. If it's the right person that you guys want to settle down, then do the right thing with all your family. You guys can get married and do everything the right way. But don't say, oh, because I'm being treated worse than Cinderella, I want to run from this home. I know someone that did that, and they are not here today to tell the story. And I think I know one or two or three. One of them ended up contracting AIDS. She passed. And the other one that also was being mistreated decided that, oh, my family is not in the picture, I'm staying with this relative, I'm leaving. Met this guy, went with the guy. The guy was in the beginning he was nice, but then after that the guy was just mistreating, DV, she had children. She's now paralyzed and she can't even take care of her children, right? And then the other one also that ran from home because it's like, oh, I'm being mistreated here. Wasn't Cinderella? I'm the one doing everything. There are a lot of girls in the house. Listen, I lived in a place where there were a lot of girls in the house. And I never once said that, oh, there are a lot of girls in the house. How come I'm the only one cooking? How come I'm the only one cleaning? How come I'm the only one doing laundry? I never questioned it. If any one of them want to join me in cooking, join me in cooking. If they don't want to join me in cooking, I have no problem cooking. I just wake up and organize the house as if it's my home, right? Clean the house, clean the compound, do the dishes, prepare breakfast for everybody, start preparing for lunch. I have no issue. While lunch is ready, I'm doing laundry. Laundry is done. I start preparing, like there's a Sudanese bread that we make, it's called kisra. I start preparing the preparation for making kisra for dinner. I start cooking dinner. I have no issue at all. I have no issue. So sometimes if you're going through that and you're staying in a house that has a lot of people and you're giving attitude to say that you are being mistreated and you're not happy, and in fact you're not happy because, oh, this cousin is not cooking, or this cousin doesn't want to do laundry, this cousin doesn't want to do that, or this girl doesn't want to do that. Don't pay attention to that. Because there is no situation is permanent. No situation is permanent. So you're not going to be in that situation in permanent. So I wasn't in any of those situations I wasn't in any of those situations permanent, right? So it was tough, but I persevered, and then I moved on to a different facet. And the reason I'm calling it facet is moving to a different family. And that family also is a different type of issues. And I still just lived my life. No complaint. I didn't even complain. I didn't even say that, oh, I know this person is my relative. Let me call them to say, this is what I'm facing here. Nope. I didn't say a thing. All I know is that nothing is permanent. And I was able to come out of that situation, right? So just if you're in that situation, you are being treated worse than Cinderella, just go with the flow. As long as they're giving you food. For me, I was like, as long as they're giving me food, I'm good. They're giving me food, I'm good. I have roof over my head and I'm going to school, I'm fine. There's no issue. Yeah, there's no issue. Sometimes I'll be so tired, go to school, I'm so tired, a little bit of break, I try to sleep. And then my school also, because I was really smart, I was in the school government. I started off by being the timekeeper. Oh my God, when I was the timekeeper, I was like, yay! I thought it was such a huge thing. So after timekeeper, I was assistant head girl. And then after that, I became a head girl. That's how they call it. Basically prefect, right? So yeah, so nothing is, and the funny thing is, even though at home, I was being treated worse than Cinderella, at school, I was VVIP, right? So I always looked forward to go to school because at school I was VVIP, man. I led speeches in the parade. I came up with ideas of, a lot of things to be done for the school. At school I was VVIP, but at home I was worse than Cinderella, being treated worse than Cinderella. Rather, my situation was worse than Cinderella, right? But anyway, so it is what it is. So I thought I will come here and tell you guys about the show. So if you are in the continent, if you are somewhere in Africa, please watch that show. There's a lot of lessons, and Bahati and Diana, they are very great couple. They are very funny as well. So there is a lot of laughter and a lot of surprises as well, I think. So I'm hoping that the show will go to Netflix Global or even Amazon, so that at least some of us can, watch it. But anywho, that's all I have for you guys for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.